Hello, everybody. Welcome back to, I guess, the first official episode of the Bobcast.
Right.
I'm here with my brother, Matt Takakura.
How's it?
Some local boy from Maui. Met him back in the day when I was at UH Manoa.
Yep.
But yeah, here we are. We're just in Matt's residence in Manoa Valley. And we're just gonna talk diving. So hope you guys enjoy.
All right.
But first question, Matt, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? Like if someone was wondering, who is Matt Takakura? Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? If there was like a brief one sentencer. Oh, probably this Japanese Asian dude from Maui that likes to paint and do art and stuff, but he can hold his breath a little bit. Likes to look at fish.
Oh.
I don't know. Can either be a diver or a painter or just some dude.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, you mentioned painting. Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I kind of got into painting gyotaku, fish prints, a little bit after I started diving, which was around COVID time. So I think now is about almost maybe 5 or 6 years that I've been painting. But yeah, it's just been a pleasure getting to print and see cool fish all the time. Yeah, pretty neat. Yeah, and that all started from, learning how to dive. Yeah, so that was pretty neat.
So those early days learning to dive, was it the diving came first, or do you think like the art kind of?
The fishing came first, actually. The fishing started back when I was a little kid. We'd just go catch nightmare veckes off the harbor, and we wouldn't eat them, but stuff like that. And I remember I caught like a manini at Boy Scouts, and we ate that, and I was like, oh, pretty neat. But no, I started diving around COVID time. My friends back home on Maui, Keely Chappelle, one Hama dude over there. He kind of was like, hey, you should come fish or come dive with us. But first few times I would just wait on the beach while they swam out, and I'd dunk a piece of shrimp in hopes of catching anything. But after a few times I was like, I know how to swim, I'll try it. And that was kind of the start of it. Yeah.
Because you were a swimmer, back in high school.
Yeah, I did swimming for like as long as I could remember. I mean, one of my first memories in the pool was drowning.
What?
Yeah. Oh, that goes way back. I think I was like 4 or something. But yeah, since like 4 years old, started swimming till high school, and yeah, swimming was kind of one of the reasons I got into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think that helped your like transition going from a manini catcher fisherman into a diver? Swim background?
Not really. I feel like if anything, maybe just my comfort level and physical ability might have helped the most. Keeping myself in shape and whatnot. But people say you can train and like run and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But the biggest influence really is just diving, doing it. That's how you're gonna get better. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Back when I started, I mean, I wasn't really shooting much. I mean, I wore like an old hand-me-down wetsuit on top of another old hand-me-down wetsuit, like just doubled up, some socks and plastic fins that gave your ankles blisters. But I would just go out and chase moanas and maninis, and I'd be like, oh yes, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then I'd eventually graduated to like the Mempachi stage, and then the Coles, and then I learned what uhus were, and I was like, brah, an uhu's gonna die. Yeah, I think I was like 15 or something at the time, but I was just getting real into it at the time, so I didn't think too much of it back then.
Yeah, well, if you guys didn't know this already, Matt he's an extremely good diver. Dives really deep. He can dive 150 feet.
One time.
One of those Maui uku guys, deep. Maui doesn't really have too much reef. I mean, there is reef, but it doesn't really. It's not as expansive as there is over here on Oahu, where the grounds are kind of shallower for a lot further. So this guy, kind of from the very beginning, he was probably forced by the environment that he started diving in to progress quickly as a diver and start diving deeper. My first time diving deep was with this guy, actually.
Yeah.
I was diving 30 feet my whole life, and then me and him, we swam out for a pretty chronic shore dive.
Oh yeah,
And
that was like almost 4 years ago now.
yeah,
too.
I seen that he could do it, so I figured maybe I can just send one. So
Past this guy my dive watch, and he goes down. I'm like waiting on the surface, just like, okay, what's this guy doing? He comes up like 3 minutes later, bro. I was at 100 feet. I swear that first drop was like 107 or something, 101 for like 230. And I'm like, dude, easy money.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
That was cool.
Good
But
times.
wasn't always 100 feet. You know,
Mm.
had to start somewhere.
Mm.
You know, 15 feet, 30 feet, graduate to that 80-foot barrier, and then progress.
Yeah, that for me the 70-foot barrier was a big one to overcome.
Oh yeah, huge.
That jump from diving kind of like that shallower reef up into like 30
Mhm.
feet, and then it kind of goes into that flat section, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you swim out a little bit more to like the 50s, and then there's that other reef, and then there's the drop off at the edge of the reef, and then that jump from
Mhm.
30 to 50 to 70 is like, whoa, and that all
Yeah.
happened pretty quick. But
Here on Oahu too, it's especially more significant, like the levels to your depth. Like when you're swimming out, you know, your reef will constantly and slowly, I guess drastically is a better word, decrease in depth. But back home, it's more like set in stone how deep you're diving. Like, you know, you either have like a rock that's at 60 feet or nothing, or it's like, you know, you can follow the reef all the way out and then you're at 100. But, you know, you're not swimming out a half mile, you're swimming out maybe a couple 100 yards. So it's pretty different, like where you can dive and, you know, like how, I guess, what your abilities can allow for.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like over here, like trying to dive deeper when you don't have access to a
Mm.
boat, let alone
Oh, yeah.
you know, dive partners that are like willing and able to kind of push the margin with you. Then
Mhm.
yeah, so thanks for being that for me, bro.
You had 'em.
It's been a ride. But
Now you're out here doing solo drops to like 9,000 feet.
no, it's not.
Nah. Never dive alone.
Yeah, guys,
Do not dive alone. No matter how good you are.
If you guys take away anything from this podcast today, please don't dive alone.
As tempting as it may be. Probably shouldn't do it, but if you do it, just be safe.
Yeah, we're both very guilty of diving by ourselves,
Here and there.
but if you can,
In consideration, you know,
Yeah.
what's a little bit.
if you like have to do it, be really smart about it.
Yeah.
Don't do it in places that you're not extremely familiar with.
Yeah. I think the first time I dove alone, I was a little on edge, but I had to grab taco for a friend, and I was like, ooh, this is like eerie being by myself. But I made sure I went places that I was like, you know, I've dove here a million times. It's
Yeah.
like the back of my hand. I'm comfortable here. You know, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna just go out and send like a 80-foot drop by myself. That's a little scary. But yeah, I don't know.
I remember growing up, my only ride to the beach was with my parents. You know, like getting dropped off or going with some of my other friends that I would dive with in the past. And then as I got a little bit older and was able to drive myself, some of those friends that I was diving with prior, that my parents would like take the 2 of us or 3 of us to the beach, they weren't really interested in diving anymore. So it was hard to get partners. And I remember I would just like, my parents hate when I dive alone, and I would just straight lie to them. They'd be like, oh, who are you diving with? I'll be like, oh, I'm diving with Paul, and it would just be me. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
so
things you do for the things you love, you know.
yeah. How long have you been diving?
Oh, I've been diving for a while. Since like diaper days, before diaper days, just getting dragged around with my dad. But I was never allowed to actually touch a 3-prong. until I was, I think, 10. So up to that point, I would just follow him. And then from there, once I had the spear in hand, then I was just addicted, bro, to say the least. So it's been a long time. Transitioning from 3-prong 5-foot to 3-prong hybrid Kawabunga 8-foot aluminum graphite, and then from there, I remember I got a 9-foot Evolve single piece carbon, and I was whipping that thing for a few years. That was really good fun. And my friend Haw gave me my first spear gun, which was a 75 centimeter JBL, and that just opened the door, you know, like. Before, I remember I like wouldn't even want to watch spear gun dive videos on YouTube. I would only watch that. I'd watch 3-prong edits and deeper perspectives.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it just kind of opened things up some more, and then I guess I was only really shooting guns for like a couple years before I met you. And yeah, now I can't even remember the last time that I just went for like a hardcore 3-prong dive.
It's been a while for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the 3-prong phase. I think once I told my parents, like, oh, I'm starting to dive and stuff, I think my dad got me like a Walmart special 3-prong.
What color was it?
It was like yellow. But we had like pucka line wrapped on for the handle, and it's like the slowest thing ever you'd shoot in this.
Oh yeah, the leg.
Yeah, but nah, I had a good 3-prong phase for a bit. You know, once I started getting more comfortable, because I mean, like Keely, that's how Keely taught me. He was like, you know, you gotta be good first with that. And you know, a lot of people I heard too in my community back home are like, you know, you gotta start at the 3-prong and then slowly get up your ways to the gun. And so yeah, 3-prong for probably like a year, like my first year of diving, and then
strictly 3-prong.
Yeah, I mean I didn't catch anything. Maybe like I think one of my best fish was like a nice sized papio about this big, but
bro, that's solid.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It was either that or a menpache, I forget, one of those. But yeah, and then one of my friends at the time gave me this old Hatch Gremlin pipe gun, and that was the start of it. Yeah, first gun I ever shot, the first fish I ever shot at. It's like a nice 6-pound uku, and I missed. And then my friends swam off, and I didn't know how to load the gun. So I was just swimming with it, unloaded, looking around for my friends as I'm like in some zone, and that was the start of the gun phase. Yeah.
Bro, that's classic.
It would be a first fish though to be an uku.
That would be freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
Some humble beginnings for the hammer.
Yeah. Then slowly I was able to get like my first uhu. Uhu, then the goatfish, and then papios. I never really shot goatfish much till I like started learning like, oh, they might taste good. But yeah, it took me a bit. Yeah, I gotta look at the timestamps.
If you had to think of like some teachers in your life that like really
oh boy
influenced,
yeah,
even beyond diving, but just in general, like
yeah,
who are some people that kind of influenced who you are now? Because I know who you are as like an artist and a swimmer and a Maui boy, you know, all influences the way that you dive and how well you do. So
definitely one of the biggest one was my mom. You know, just the way I live, my lifestyle. You know, I come from a very Japanese household, so you know, if you know, you know. But nah, for like diving in like a lot more of my recent life, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I learned a lot from Keely. Keely kind of got me going. And then at the time, one of my friends, Kainoa, we would just go diving all the time, and that was just the start of it. But even more like online too. I started when spearfishing was pretty big on YouTube around COVID time, so I learned a lot from Ryan Myers. You know, as good or bad as it may have been, there's a lot of educational resources online, and I really tried capitalizing on that. I mean, I studied those things, and then I learned about like deeper perspectives, even more good knowledge, and you know, there's just a lot to learn from at the time. And you know, eventually I made more dive partners, more friends. You know, even my classmates, just people I surrounded myself with at the time. I think they all played a really good role as, you know, who I am today.
Yeah.
But as for artwork and whatnot, you know, I didn't really have a teacher telling me how to start with Gyotaku. You know, I was pretty active in like art classes in high school and middle school, like drawing and ceramics and painting and whatnot, but nothing to the extent that it's become. And a lot of that I think is just the ambition to, you know, get to that next level, get to that next step. And, you know, I would look at other people's paintings like Shane Hamamoto and Desmond Thane, and, you know, any fish print that I could find online, I'd be like, oh, what am I doing? What are they doing? And, you know, all those things kind of just snowballed into this style that I have on my own. Yeah. So I'm pretty grateful for all the people that have taught me stuff or that I've learned from.
Well, earlier you were talking about how there's kind of like that progression, even like besides like skill-wise with the breath holds and the comfort in the water and stuff like that and the hunting.
Yeah.
But even like the natural progression of like gear. You know, you said started with double layer hand-me-down wetsuits and a yellow tree prong, you know, plastic fins that would blister up your feet.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, just thinking about my gear too, I learned a lot from the guys at Maui Sporting Goods back home. You know, Brian Yoshikawa and his son Brandon and them, all the guys. I mean, I got my first wetsuit from them, and I was so convinced that this like large wetsuit was fitting me properly when it was all wrinkled up. And I was like, yeah, fits good. And then I go diving, I'm like waterlogged the whole time. I'm like, now I know. But you know, even stuff like that, I graduated from the hatch to a cap 120. That was a nightmare.
You went from the Gremlin to the 120.
Yeah. So I think the hatch Gremlin was a 110, I believe. But
okay.
I was shooting that thing for a couple months. Yeah, I shot like my first few uhus and whatnot. But what really did it for me was Keely and I were diving with another friend of ours, and I just hear screaming. Like, I'm like, we're all kind of by ourselves because we weren't like the greatest and most safe divers at the time. But, you know, I go swim my way over to this, what I hear is screaming, and then I see this huge silver fish swimming by, and it was a kagami, actually, a huge kagami. Like, man, if I had seen one of those today, I would have been tripping out. But, yeah, at the time, I was still quite familiar, but I knew, like, wow, this is a huge fish. And my buddy Keely had actually just shot at another big kagami, like, a few weeks prior. So I was like, okay, that's the same fish. I want to go try and shoot that thing. And I go down with my hatch Gremlin. You know, it's right in front of me. It's huge, huge fish. Like, if with my understanding now of sizes and, you know, the weights of the fish, that thing had to have been at least 30.
Oh, wow.
It was ulua size.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a really
it was a
kagami.
big kagami. Yeah. But I go down. I'm like, oh, I'm going to plug this guy. Dink! And my shaft, like, did not exit the gun. It got muzzle wrapped at the top because on the hatch Gremlin, the trigger mechs had this issue that... I guess they seized up or something, but anyways, my trigger release did not let go. It didn't open, so my shooting line got stuck. And my shaft shot about 2 feet out the gun, and the fish swam away.
Oh, no.
And I got to the surface just screaming out. But Keely ended up shooting a nice one.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was still stoked, but still a little bummed about that. But very next day, I think I bought a cap 120.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I'm done with this python.
And ever since then, you know, caps, yeah.
Well, what do you think it's like now for guys that are getting into diving? Because to my understanding, or like my own personal observation, it seems like guys are going into dive shops and getting fully laid out with, you know, waihanas and carbon fins or long blades and like proper spear, like 110, 120 centimeter spear guns, like as their first, you know, tools to dive with. And like, I don't know, you have any thoughts about that?
You know, I felt like I was a little guilty of that at the time. You know, I was relatively new to diving, and then I'm going all the way to now having this $1,000 spear gun, which is like the best of the best at the time. But I think in now's day and age, it's especially more prominent because a lot of younger divers and even just the trend of it has grown. I could be wrong. I might not have observed it in my time as well, but I think with how much online resources and just the social media presence, a lot of people are like, oh, this is what I need, this is what I can get. I don't have to skip these baby levels, and I can just go to the real deal because that's what everyone sees. But I think another aspect might be, who are your mentors? Like, is someone teaching you, or are you just going out on your own for the fun of it? But going back to your mention of mentors, someone that I forgot to ask was actually my freedive instructor. That was huge. Learning proper safety techniques. Garrett Andrew Moss back home on Maui is the man.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I started getting comfortable with depth and eventually diving with my friend Sky. Yeah, that just kind of was the transition right there. Just going. Yeah. But definitely, yeah, a lot of people aren't so familiar with the process, I think, because one of the stories too I heard is like, one of my friends couldn't get a spear gun until he had shot this whole list of fish with a 3-prong.
Oh wow.
But nowadays it's like, guys don't even 3-prong anymore. Just go straight and buy a double carbon fiber roller from beep.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah. I don't know too many new younger divers, so it'd be hard to really tell.
I feel like it would be good to like meet some of them. Just kind of
probably
get there. I mean, because like we've been diving for a bit,
Yeah.
We have our own perceptions on kind of the atmosphere of diving and the community and stuff right now. But me too. Like I really don't know too many like brand new divers. Most of the people that I know have been diving for a pretty considerable amount of time.
Yeah. And I mean, even in comparison with you, I mean, you've been diving like your whole life, and I've been diving for 6, maybe 7 years.
Nah, that's a long time.
Delete that.
Oh god.
Delete that.
No, that's going in.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
It's just calling for me.
Yeah, my dad was he's a 3-prong, not enthusiast, but like what is it called when you're like you only do that?
I feel like
There's a word
enthusiast
for
would be
it.
a good word.
Yeah, I guess he's like a 3-prong enthusiast, but he never would have got me a spear gun, He always was like, bro, spear guns are cheap,
Yeah.
3-prong. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like those kind of attitudes about just the progression of diving and 3-pronging and just sort of having like a natural like leveling up sort of deal kind of went out the window now that people have access to
Definitely. Yeah, I think
so much. There's so much access to knowledge online, and but without the like actual like tutelage or like mentorship that you mentioned.
Yeah, because I think a big part of the 3-prong phase that a lot of people didn't really look into is that you're not just limited to a 3-prong in the sense of shooting small fish, but you're doing it so you can learn how to get close to fish. It's a much more difficult task. It even uses a lot more oxygen just having to load up a 3-prong.
Yeah.
Learning how to load up a 3-prong, like when. It's just, it goes more than just shooting small fish and starting small.
Yeah.
It's more of your fundamentals.
Wow, I didn't even think about that aspect too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Even like learning like over time, like I shouldn't load my 3-prong on the surface, or by the time I get to the bottom, I'm gonna be straight bogging, and my wrist is gonna be sore, and this muscle right here. I remember growing up 3-pronging, like I still have a scar here from just how many blisters I've had in the same spot, like through the glove kind, and that like now that skin on this part of my hand is just forever it's like unbreakable now from the 3-prong rubber.
Yeah, I haven't had that sensation in a while where your hand is just
cramping.
worn out from 3-pronging all day. Even with like the new gloves that they have, it's like you ever tried the Waihana 3-prong gloves? It's like you don't feel a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I only wore it on Micah's boat because he likes leadering with that. He has that rubber pad.
Yeah, it's it's different from the old gardening gloves that used to use back then. Now it's like sometimes just no gloves, just cause.
I'm guilty of always misplacing my gloves too.
Yeah, my gloves get plenty pukas.
Yeah, before was the ones my dad would use were these like bright neon orange gloves with like it was like hot glue. Was the
Ooh.
grip. You know, it was like lines of like glue.
Oh.
But
Oh, that kind. Yeah.
You know the ones
I
I'm
know
talking about, yeah?
those ones. Yeah.
yeah, that was the one my dad would always rock.
Hmm.
But shoot, bro, I haven't dove with that guy in years, man. Like I wish he was still diving. I know he still thinks about it from time to time, but
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't dove with a lot of my mentors or like the people that I've learned with in a while. Like Keely's now like diehard Ulua fisherman. If nobody knows, that guy is strictly Uluas with the side of taco diving.
four
But,
Uluas.
Yeah, for Uluas. Even Kainoa, you know, a couple of my friends back home, we just haven't been diving too much, but that's life. Don't dive too much anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But when I can go, try to make the most of it, even if it's not shooting fish. Yeah.
Yeah, when Matt comes back to Oahu, a lot of the times he doesn't even bring his spear gun back from Maui. I'd say
Yeah.
99% of the time he doesn't have his own spear gun.
Yeah, for the most part, it's just for the convenience of traveling, but then again, it's, you know, it's not really a necessity anymore to go out and shoot fish. Very fortunate that I'm able to live off of hunting actually more so now than I wouldn't say I was living off of diving to begin with, but you know, having that luxury of eating fresh fish. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think that was one of the main reasons too, aside from just for the fun and excitement of going out and swimming with these creatures, is, you know, you get to put something on the table at the end of the day. Like I remember the first uku I ever caught was like a feast. It was just trying seared uku, panko fried
Every
uku.
style you
Yeah.
can think of.
And man, that really opened it up for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hunting. Do you think you're talking about hunting on land, right?
Yeah. Hunting for deer.
Okay,
Yeah.
deer hunting.
Yeah.
How relevant do you think? Like, is there like much crossover between like hunting fish and hunting
You know,
game on land?
I kind of feel like there is quite a bit of connection, but at the same time, hunting a wild animal like a deer is a lot less predictable than a fish, I feel like. But if I had to compare it to anything, I'd say it's almost like blue water diving. You know,
Oh, okay.
there's a lot of no excitement, but then there's, you know, when it does show up, like when you do see one, it's boom, clicks into that mode. And then even just the execution, though, is so much more difficult than diving, I feel like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really do anything to like call a deer in. Yeah, like where you can
There
scratch
are
the reef.
yeah,
You can't?
there are like deer sounds. I'm not sure what exactly they're called, but they're like a little squeaker and they make a deer sound.
Did it work?
Oh yeah, deers are attracted to it.
Oh wow.
But with my knowledge and abilities at the moment, I don't really do too much to attract them like a fish. It's more so like stalking them and trying to close the gap. So if anything, I guess it would be similar to maybe a moo, but moo are more
okay.
inclined to, you know, coming towards you than you chasing after them.
Mm.
So it's hard to compare something so different.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, back to diving.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about? I feel like there's kind of different skill sets and attributes that like make a good diver, and bro, some people can just shoot fish from so far away and like stay accurate at a distance.
Yeah.
Like maybe they don't get the fish as close to them, but like frankly, it's because they just don't need to.
Yeah, I have
And
a good bit of those videos that we'll toss in here.
Oh, okay.
But nah, there's definitely a lot of skills. I think, you know, breath hold is a major one. You know, your ability, you know, form, shooting, of course, execution.
Yeah.
And then just safety and, you know, being a good diver. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of aspects. Yeah.
Okay, well, what do you think makes like a good diver in your book?
Honestly, one of the biggest ones is mindset and safety. If you have those two, we're cool. But you know, I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I'm diving with someone who could be diving 100 feet, but they disappear, because then it's like, well, I'm diving by myself pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, mindset's probably the biggest one. You know, why are you diving? That's a big one nowadays too.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll get back to mindset in a bit, but What do you think if, say, let's just say hypothetically, I'm a diver.
Mhm.
You know, I can dive 100 feet, 120 feet. I can shoot fish down there.
Yeah.
But as I'm bringing the fish up, I'm blacking out. Like
Oof,
I'm,
definitely not.
or like I'm coming up from drops and I'm not making it to the surface. Like, do you think
Yeah.
you should still be pushing those depths? Like, do you think like you're really benefiting from pressing at that, or do you think like your functional operating range isn't as deep as maybe your
You're
mental
going-
or like your ego diving range?
It would be hard to make a statement on that because I'm not too familiar with blackouts on my own.
Mm.
But from what I have seen with people that do blackout and shoot fish,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure why it happens because I mean you could be diving shallow and still black out.
Mm.
So, but you know if you're expending a lot of energy and oxygen, yeah, you're at a much higher risk, especially if you're prone to blackouts. I know some people are that they'll just black out a few times a year or somewhere. Never.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some divers out there, but you know, as good as you might be, if you're gonna die, it's you know, you were a good diver. You know, you aren't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Quote that. Somebody write that down.
you were a good diver if you blacked out. But yeah, I'm not too sure what to do about a blackout. Like in that case, well, I mean, I know the safety protocol, but you know, if you're actively blacking out, I'm not too sure what you would
Yeah.
do. Probably just
Suppose just
dive with
drop your
consideration
belt,
that
yeah.
you might even I mean, well, it's hard to tell because from what I've heard is you don't know you're going to black out,
Oh,
so it's not like you can just take off your belt, float on the
Right.
surface, and mouth up, mask off willingly. It's from what I've heard, you know, you make it up and you just don't remember a thing.
Wow.
So yeah, I would imagine you just lose full control and
Mhm.
consciousness. Yeah, pretty scary.
huh. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
I've never experienced anything close to that either.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think I've
Super
even have a
blessed.
LMC really.
Was that? Oh,
Loss of motor control. Yeah, that's one of the.
Mm.
I think that's before
where you're, like,
blackout.
spazzing,
Yeah. I've seen both blackouts and LMCs, and you know they're pretty scary, and it kind of just shows how important having a good dive partner is. Because if you're not within arm's reach, they're gonna sink, and that's how you can swallow water. That's how
Yeah.
you'll
Bro, I
really
just
get
saw.
injured.
Oh, you sent me that video. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That
There's this video circulating online where someone is coming up
think
from a
Courtney-
Tishala
yeah.
came up from a drop and they just started sinking back down. I was like, oh
Oof.
man, that's terrifying. Like that is.
Yeah. Because you know you don't really see it from someone's perspective like that.
Yeah.
You know, just to think, you know, you're making it up to the surface and your buddies are around you, but the camera just keeps rolling and you're sinking all the way to the bottom,
Yeah,
and it's
bro,
just like
that's
unreal. You know, we go through these courses, like safety courses, to prevent anything like this, and even the knowledge that there is online. You know.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to promote safe diving. You know,
Right.
you want to be in arm's reach. You want to be able to do something if this does happen, and that goes beyond just diving with other people.
Mhm.
It goes with diving with educated people,
Right.
and that's how you'll save lives.
And it's like, even if the person you're diving with isn't necessarily educated on like fully
Yeah.
through like a dive course or something, like it's so easy to just be like, hey bro, like please watch me, like when
Yeah.
I'm down there, like I don't want you looking for your own fish, bro. Like let's take turns, let's work this fish pile together, and let's
Yeah.
make sure like we both make it home, or else it's like what's the point of even diving?
Yeah, one up, one down is a big one.
Mhm.
You can learn the easy way or learn the hard way. I've had, back when I was growing up, I'd be on the bottom and I'd see my buddy dive bombing a fish in front of me. I'm like screaming underwater, "Oh!" But fortunately for us, nothing has happened.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it can happen just like that, and it's scary to think about.
Yeah, bro, you never know when your last dive could be your
Oof.
last dive,
Yep. So make
So-
everyone worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even those murky water missions,
Yeah.
You never know what you'll see. Look at those Himalayas. Look at those manini.
Mm.
They're all really pretty fish. It's not just about going out and shooting one of your selective fish,
Yeah, right. Yeah, earlier you mentioned a good diver is a safe diver, and it depends on their mindset.
Yeah.
So, what kind of like mindsets do you kind of associate with someone being like a good diver to you?
I haven't put like a solid definition on it, but
Yeah.
I think
Just like in general, even.
being accepting that you're not always going to shoot something, and you don't always have to. There's you can get a lot out of diving from rather than just bringing something home physically.
Uh-huh.
I think for me nowadays, why I do it is because it fulfills a lot more than just my stomach. It's it's mental, really. Just love getting out there. Fish are the greatest things ever. They're just so pretty. They're so cool. Yeah, but that's just my idea. But for others, I think a good mindset to have is just knowing your resources, being ethical, sustainable in the sense that you're leaving this place with the consideration that other people are going to be diving here for future generations. Yeah, I'm still learning a good bit about like the statistics and actual technicalities of what sustainability might look like here. But I think it's good for everyone to have some sort of moral compass on what should I be doing as a diver.
Yeah.
I personally shoot a lot of uku. It's probably one of my number one targets, but it's not just because I'm solely looking after them. It's because I'm usually in target-rich environments, back home on Maui especially. But also knowing the uku population is rather healthy according to NOAA's ongoing surveying. I think it just kind of justifies the okayness of it, but in moderation, of course. I'm not shooting an uku once a week. I'm shooting one maybe once or twice, maybe a month. Depends how lucky I am. But that said, with other species, you're not gonna have a lot of kumu in one area, and if you shoot them all, they're likely not
have
gonna
a lot of kumu in one area.
Yeah. So I think a good mindset is just having a sustainable moral compass, if that makes sense. Or I don't know how else I would word it.
Yeah, no, I
Good
understand.
moral compass and slightly educated.
Yeah. So just kind of people being like aware of the reasons why they're diving.
Awareness is a good one.
Uh-huh.
Aware of what you could be doing to diving, beyond just being out there and catching fish for yourself.
Yeah.
Are you feeding into negative portrayals online? Are you catching fish or damaging reefs that might impact them longer than just your day out in the water? I think there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah. What's your idea of a
good response?
Good mindset for a diver?
Good mindset for a diver? Yeah, honestly, like you're just kind of like to touch back on what you're saying, bro. Like just a diver that kind of understands the reasons why they're diving, whether it's to put food on their table for their family, or if they're going out for their own like spiritual or mental or physical needs. There's so many different avenues, but I think it's easier to say what maybe a bad diver is rather than a good diver for me. And I think like if someone is diving just for the glory, that doesn't make them the greatest diver. If I mean, not to like put down people that do this, but people that are going out to reefs and just pounding, like 20 uhus one crack. It's like, bro, like understand, like of course you're gonna catch that many uhus because there are a lot of uhus. Like that's always an argument. Like, like bro, that's minor. Like I seen another 40 more uhus. But like, bro, with that kind of attitude, how much longer are there gonna be 40 more uhus for you to look at?
Yeah, definitely.
And even with all of like the like we see the statewide, the beach erosion and just our sands just shifting and leaving, like uhus, to my understanding, make our sand. They take care of our reefs. And what's gonna happen if like they're all gone?
Yeah, I think uhus do play a good role in that, but that's also a really big picture global warming and stuff like that. So, but yes, uhus are important, and you can't just take them just because they're there. But I think what we might seem as a bad mindset to others might be, if this is like your own mindset, you know, there's a lot of different reasons why someone might be diving. You
Oh
know?
yeah, absolutely.
For the commercial people, it's, you know, it's because they need to provide for themselves
Mm.
financially. You know, life isn't cheap.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But I do think, you know, you do have to be considerate of what you're doing and how this might affect others
Mm.
more than just yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 20 woohoos is, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Might not be the greatest.
Mm.
Or like a dozen kumus or goatfish. Depends on your
Yeah.
reasoning, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I have a hard time, but this comes from a, I guess, like entitled place. You know, like I'm super
Mm.
blessed to not have to rely on, you know, fish for financial subsistence.
Yeah.
You know, but it's hard, bro. Trying to be empathetic and like justify in my mind like why someone can go out and blast 15 munus and 10 kumus from, you know, a 1 square mile
Mhm.
area. You know, it's like stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why we have the podcast. You know, so we can
Lot of-
discuss these kinds of things. Share.
Be interesting
Wow.
to hear someone's perspective that does do that.
That would be really
That
cool.
would be
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
And then we fight in the backyard.
Please don't.
Just kidding. Just kidding. It's just a joke. I'd lose.
Yeah, bro, like how, I mean, I don't know how much of the science is out there,
Hmm.
but we have our own, just the science of our own personal observation and testimony.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't like say that's putting ourselves on a pedestal or anything. I think, you know, there are a lot of educated divers, and this is just some opinions that we have,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, a lot of reasons why someone would be diving.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, bro. Family tradition even. I mean, a
Yeah,
lot of our
ties
parents,
back to culture is a huge one. I mean,
our parents, our grandparents, you know, those generations, there was a lot more fish back then, but they were catching, you know, substantially more fish than
mm,
maybe today.
yeah,
There's a lot more tank diving, I feel like. Guys still do tank dive, but
yeah. It'd be hard to compare my generation to much that was before me. Like my dad was a fisherman and whatnot, but
Mm.
nothing in similarity to like diving and stuff like
Mm.
nowadays. Yeah. Oh, tank divers. Yeah, there are a few tank divers.
yeah.
Like once again, you know, depends on your reasoning.
Mm.
If you have a giant high school grad party, you need some coles.
Yeah, bro. Do your thing, you know.
Especially if you're shooting them at like 130 feet. Like,
130-foot coles.
yeah. Some deep coles. Yeah, one of my uncles back home. Actually, is that illegal?
What?
3-pronging with a tank?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Never mind.
Oh. I know a lot of guys that drop tanks, you know, but do their thing, you know. Like you're saying, everybody dives for different reasons.
Yeah.
Every diving to different people looks like a different thing, you know.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
no. Ultimately, above all else, I think if you have like a formal connection with your environment that you're living in, whether that's here on Maui or in Alaska or freaking New York, wherever, you know, just having that kind of understanding of the spaces that you're in is really good for just
Mhm.
who you are as a person in general. But
Yeah.
yeah, you have any other last thoughts?
Going back to like trophy hunting, I wouldn't say trophy hunting might be pretty difficult.
Mm.
Like, you know, if you're going out and posting stuff that you're pretty proud of, like a giant, I don't know, uku or mu or stuff like that, I wouldn't say you're solely looking after it,
Mm.
but if it's something that's like a ulua, it might be a little bit more different. So, you know, if you're posting strictly trophy fish, props to you, you're probably really lucky and really good. But, you know, I can also see how it might be negative for the overall portrayal of diving to other people. And I'm probably guilty of this to an extent. You know, I've posted my share of fish that I'm pretty proud of, and I mean, I don't shoot those stuff every day anymore. But you know, I can definitely see how those might build into people's understandings of what diving should be or might be. And you know, it's just food for thought. Yeah, I'm not saying like don't post your giant uku, because that's sick. That is sick, and props to you.
Yeah.
But you know, when you see diving content online, you know, what is it you're usually seeing, and what is that in relation to your actual diving? You know, how does that influence your behavior? I don't know. Some food for thought. But yeah, trophy hunting, trophy posting. Once again, coming down to your reasonings and, you know, what does that fish actually mean to you?
Wow. What does that fish actually mean to you?
Yeah, like, is it just another tail to put on your wall, or is it, you know, hard work? Like,
yeah, not to put one above the other either, you know? It's just like,
yeah,
what is it to you?
like, you got some trophy fish for you think?
Some trophy fish? That move.
Yeah,
That last move that
was a
we
really
caught
nice
together.
move.
That was the biggest one I've ever caught. For sure.
That was sick. Yeah, seeing that thing come up was, you know, I didn't even shoot that thing, but I was tripping out on this.
I kind of,
yeah,
probably that one. That's kind of all I.
Oh, some sheebies.
Oh yeah.
Some sheebies. That's sick.
So a couple almost. Those are.
Yeah.
That was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Jab.
Almost a dream.
Yeah, I think that was. I guess that's kind of it. I don't know. I feel like I'm so detached from like the things that I catch that I can't like think about really memorable fish anymore. But
detached what?
I feel like my reasoning for diving, like it's like not even about the fish anymore.
It's definitely changed
So
a
like
good bit.
That's why I have a hard time kind of recalling like some of the things that I have caught. But
that's why you come to Gyotaku Talks.
yeah, remember your catches, guys.
Yeah.
Get some killer gyotakus from.
Let me know. Big or small.
Print them all.
Depending on the reasoning.
Oh yeah, let's show these guys this.
Oh, bro.
Super fast.
Here, show them this one.
Okay, we say big or small. These are two
Drastically different examples.
Here, so here's some small fish.
These are Owamas. This one, Auntie brought it over to me, and her, I think it was her dad. They were Owama fishing, and it meant a lot to them. You know, it's something they did for a while. But you know, that's one of the reasons why some people might get a gyotaku, and you know, for other reasons too. It might be like, you know, a PB uku. This was.
Wait, try to turn it a little bit.
Which way?
Make it a little bit flatter to it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is that yours?
Yeah, so this was, I think, my senior year of high school. So, this was a 17-pound uku, and you know, I was definitely a bit, or I don't know how I would say it, but I was lucky that fish came into me. You know, it was just a random dive bomb in one of our zones, and 1 minute drop, 60 feet, boink, stone shot, just tripping out on the surface. You know,
wow.
I couldn't even fathom shooting a fish of that size before, and here I am with, you know, the biggest uku I've ever seen. Yeah, to do it on a shore dive too, it was just like, you know, diving back then in high school was life. I mean, you were pressing, I was pressing, you know, maybe a few times a week. And yeah, to me, that fish back then was just like I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's a huge milestone, bro. I don't think I've ever shot a uku that big.
Yeah, this guy has.
No.
Yeah. But I mean, not to brag or anything, but like even the uku that I've shot with this guy, I think that thing was like 20 maybe on the dot, a little over.
No, it was over. It was like 20.6, and that was after it was on ice for like 2 days.
But that thing was significantly bigger. But you know, knowing where it came from too, this fish was in a spot that my friends and I had been shore diving for a good while. You know, learning the spot. You know, we'd walk in, hike in, we put a lot of effort. So to see the reward reveal itself was just so significant for me. And not to say that where we were diving where we were diving at the time, you know, it's a target rich environment, to say the least, you know. That's kind of what I was under the impression was the norm. So when I had shot that thing, I was like, yeah, I mean, I was tripping out. That was quite the fight. But
Bro, we saw bigger ones that day too.
Yeah, that
which
too.
is crazy to think about.
We were seeing some huge fish, and it's just like, you know, at the time, that huge uku, our next thought was, feeding our party that we were going to have the next day. So we had trillion uku nuggets, and we had ceviche and tacos and fish galore. So
that was in the apartment,
yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't too concerned with printing that thing because I knew where it came from and I knew the circumstances. But I mean, had I had also have probably paints and some stuff, I probably would have slapped them on just for do it.
For the names, yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons someone might consider something a trophy. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That was a cool dive, that big uku.
Oh, I bet, bro.
Yeah.
I know. I need to come back to Maui and get to see some of your shore dive spots. So back in December, I got to spend some time with Matt in Maui. I just brought my camera over and got to borrow his sister's wetsuit. Sorry, Naomi.
Fit like a glove.
Fit perfectly. Just says a bit about my figure.
She's not fat either.
But yeah, that was cool. So I'll throw some clips from that trip. Right now, you'll be seeing it.
Yeah, Maui diving is not like that all the time. So I mean,
it is.
We were diving the first day. We were diving, you know, some of the most zones of zones you can get to.
Was that the shore dive?
Yeah,
no, that was a shore dive.
And then
that was mental.
You know, we come across like a nice size ono from shore, and that's, you know, something you don't see every day. And even like when we did go on a boat the very next day, we're still going to
zones.
Yeah, we're going to zones.
Yeah, we got blessed by really nice weather windows, so some of these more inaccessible spots were open to us to go explore. So that was freaking really cool. Yeah,
we saw onos both dives and blew it on the second one, but you know,
we'll throw that clip in too.
For this guy to come diving on Maui, first time ever in, you know, back-to-back dives, he's seeing ukus getting shot, he's seeing onos getting shot at, he's seeing what, moo? I forget what else we were. Yeah.
Yup. Sky shot a couple moos.
Yeah.
You guys caught some ukus.
I think I shot a nice uku that trip.
So you shot a couple. There's
I shot like a 10-pound uku and a
6 or 8 pound.
Yeah, like a 6-pound uku. I was stoking on that. Yeah.
Right. It's crazy like how different the geography and the structure is compared to over here, bro. It was really. I mean, we're swimming out for like 5 minutes and then boom, it's 60 feet. Like, bro, that's crazy. If we're trying to dive 60 feet over here, we're swimming for at least 30 minutes, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And like 3/4 of a mile to like some of the places where I like to go.
Yeah, and you figure on the boat too, some of the spots we were going to, it's like you can't even walk to them.
Bro,
if you're on Oahu, it's like you can go anywhere you want almost.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, really just diving in remote areas, you know.
See remote fish.
Remote fish. Sometimes, or it's just barren. I think our boat dive was also pretty barren, I believe.
We saw a lot more fish on our shore dive than our boat.
Yeah.
And we couldn't, the current was cranking, like we couldn't really stay in.
Oh, yeah. That was when I shot the big uku.
Do you like when it's current that strong, or would you rather have it a little more slow where you can kind of work pinnacles and...
Current brings fish, but, you know, I like taking drops to the bottom sometimes. But I'm pretty comfortable with my dive bomb abilities where if it's ribbing current, I will still try and go down, and if a fish comes into me, I'll, you know, swim up current into it and try to shoot it. But for the most part, I'd prefer less current, you know. I'd rather have a nice peaceful drop where I can be chilling out on the surface, not moving much.
Right.
You know, close my eyes and cruise.
Yeah.
Versus having to subtly kick forward just to slowly get into the same
Mhm.
spot. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, that big uku I shot we were in about 2 knots, 2 miles per hour current.
Oh wow.
So
You guys kinda
we
moving.
covered a mile drift in half an hour.
Holy
So
smokes.
we got in the water, half an hour, shot that thing, and we were out. Yeah.
What, did you swim back up current, or you just
No, we
went straight in?
We
and
got
walked?
in and then we walked.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, that was cool.
Mhm.
So like stuff like that, it's, you know, play with current to your advantage, but
Yeah.
shore diving with current's a rough one.
Yeah, it is. But it's nice if you have an exit location with
Yep.
the vehicle waiting for you.
Yep.
Those are some of my favorite dives. It's just covering so much
Mhm.
reef and seeing
Yeah,
so many
planned-
different piles. And
Planned current dives are good.
except for when the plan goes opposite from
Yep.
opposite direction.
Yep.
You swim out and you're going the other way from the exit vehicle. That one is kind of it's like
That one's not the greatest. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I shot a Kagami too at the spot where I shot this uku.
Oh yeah.
So that was quite a special spot. Yeah.
Okay, well, not to give anything away, but what direction of the island is this?
I'm not telling.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Good answer. That was a
yeah,
that was
I don't
a
wanna tell.
that was a test you passed.
Yeah, but that was a cool spot.
Wow, I mean, was it the same kind of structure as where we were?
Somewhat similar. It was some like high rocks and it was a lot of like hills. Like you'd have huge coral pinnacles come up to like maybe 50, 60 feet.
Mm.
Drops down to like 80, 90, maybe 100 on the ends.
Wow.
Comes right back up to another big coral head with fish and kumus and
Mm.
goatfish on top. So there's a lot of life.
Wow.
But I think where I'm thinking of though, where I shot the Kagami, it's like you have some of the most insane boulder structures.
Oh,
So it's really different, you
we
know?
don't really have too much boulders unless you're diving like some of those islands on the east side.
Yeah. Yeah. But cool spot.
Mm.
I like diving Maui. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, over here is kind of like same sort of pattern every side of the island.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like
So
some
far.
variation, which is really cool, but
It's pretty much the same, you know, you're just gonna swim
Yeah.
far and you might find a couple ledges with some fish and
mm,
that's that.
yeah.
East side was cool though. Seeing boulders over here is pretty fun. You know.
East side. Oh, when we
Yeah.
went out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Had some cool dives.
Yeah, how was that one dive that we freaking both shot the same exact
Yeah.
catch? That was
That's
cool.
probably one of the most memorable Oahu dives. You know, we've had a few.
We've
The
had-
big kumu, seeing a big kumu was a blast.
Oh yeah. I'll see if I have those
Yeah,
clips saved.
big
I'll throw it
kumu.
in.
But yeah, we had a really mean kayak dive this one time, and we both shot mu, munu, and nice size omilus, and we later had the meanest fish taco party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, almost meanest.
Except that it was
Minus the junk taco shells, but yeah, that was a really cool dive over here. I don't think I've shot too much fish over here. So it's like a couple ukus and goatfish.
I feel like you don't really pull the trigger that much too when you're over here.
Yeah, I think I just don't also have a lot of more options,
Mm.
you know. Diving over here, it's a lot of moo, and my breath hold's not the greatest lately. Like, I've been looking at my trend and it's slowly going downwards, so like where maybe like a 210 is like pushing it on a good day.
Bro, that's solid.
But-
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a lot of moves, huh?
Mostly moo is like the biggest target over here, but
Yeah.
somehow I get lucky and find ukus too.
Mm. Yeah, I never can,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, a couple moo. Yeah, some good dives though here. It's always fun to just get out.
Mm.
New to Bronx.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere that I dive is like just a resident moo pile.
Yeah.
And swimming out to the moo pile, and hopefully there's other targets in the area, but
Yeah.
if not, then it's just blasting invasives and trying to work moves.
Yeah. I definitely could be doing a bit more invasive hunting on my part. They do taste really good, I will say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
usually
I mean, that's why
I'm
they're
not.
brought, you know?
Usually I'm not bringing my guns too, so it's kind of limited to
Right.
what I can do.
Mm.
But you know, if the opportunity presented itself when I'm not in a target-rich environment that has my preferred species of choice.
Ukus.
But yeah,
Yeah, we
good
should
dash.
start bringing out 2 guns more.
or a 3-prong.
Yeah, just to be able to have like, I mean, for the viewers, typically we're just sharing my Cap 120.
Sharing
So-
a cap and a camera, recording just stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what our dives have been looking.
Yeah, lately, probably like this past year almost.
Yeah, this pretty much all of 2026 because I got that thing for my birthday.
Yeah, and
Back in
I don't think
September.
I've had my guns here for a bit.
Yeah, pretty much all school year. Yeah, no, you had your single band.
Oh
here.
yeah, and when I
But-
went to the banks, I went there in October. I
Oh.
think I had my 120.
That day was a little more slow. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a pretty slow day. Shot 2 ukus,
First
2 drops, and then I sat on the boat for like 4 hours. None of our crew just had a rough day.
did you have some cold bevs on the boat?
Negative,
Oh man.
but you know, it's a learning experience,
Mm.
and I was with some good brothers, so
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, that's all. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
bro.
and I had some fish to eat.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good fun. Yeah.
I bet the banks would be the Burt would be pretty fun to dive right now, since there's so much brown water
Yeah.
inshore. But
Yeah.
out there is, with these storm systems that have been passing, like the offshore sea has been pretty calm, to my
Yeah.
understanding. I bet today was really
I
nice.
forget who posted it, but someone went like yesterday or today.
Oh,
Got some.
they got some. Are there still onos this time of year around the islands?
I feel like they're kind of just year round, but
Mm.
from my understanding, I'd say peak is like December, January,
Okay,
wintertime.
that's when
I
they're like
believe.
schooling more, yeah, close to shore.
I'm not too sure, but I've had the most luck around wintertime.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, winter I'd say is my best
Mm.
luck. But I mean, we've seen them randomly, like mid-year,
Yeah.
anytime.
I've never randomly seen. Oh, actually no, I lied.
Manais.
Yeah, Manais, and then there's another one that we ran into on the reef too.
Oh, on Maui.
No, on Oahu.
Oh,
Yeah, but I rarely ever see onos like diving
yeah,
unless we're like specifically going to a place to target them.
yeah. Usually for when I do dive back home on Maui, you know, we're diving like deeper reefs that's
Yeah.
probably around the hundreds or so.
Mhm.
So we might coincidentally see them. You know,
Mhm.
we're obviously gonna put ourselves in a better opportunity with like some flashers and chumming, but you know, just being in the spot is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes get lucky.
Mm.
Sometimes just miss.
Yeah, bro, Manais one was so classic, bro. That was you're in the
I was
water
on the
too,
boat.
yeah?
I
No,
was
you're
on
on
the
the
boat.
boat. Could you hear me yelling?
Yeah. I saw you guys throwing flashers and stuff, and I'm like, bro, what's going on? I just jumped out the water. I was not having a great day.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, like all the guns were unloaded except for one guy, Manais, and he was, I don't know what he was doing.
He was
but,
breathing up with his eyes closed, and the ono was touching his toes. I'm
Rah.
screaming. Just, hi.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Shot it. That was a nice one.
Yeah, he spined it, bro. That was.
Then we ate at Doraku.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
Oh, yeah, the Raku.
We saw Marlin too in the water that day, in like
Bro, that
60
was-
feet of water.
Oh, yeah, that was mental.
Yeah, like a huge, probably like 200-pound Marlin.
Yeah, yeah.
Came
my
close
goodness.
too. Yeah,
Thing was cruising.
that was sick. But you know,
Just
one
goes
of the
to
good
show.
reasons, you know, yeah.
You have absolutely no idea what you might see.
Wow.
Are there any fish that are like on the list for you that you really wanna hopefully run into and secure?
I haven't really thought about it too much, but you know, I'm always stoked to eat uku whenever I can.
Mhm.
Ono. But for like the shooting list,
Yeah.
I gotta get redemption on that giant Kagami from day one.
Oh,
Nah, not really, but you know that'd be a cool one.
that would be like a printable fish for you.
I mean, I'll print whatever's depending on
Mhm.
the story, but man, yeah, that'd be quite the memorable one.
Mm.
Pow pows would be cool. I haven't even seen a pow pow.
Mm. Yeah, I only seen that one time.
Shibis would be cool. Ahi. To throw any 30-pound uku.
Mm.
I've seen them, so they do exist. Just gotta find them.
Right.
Find one dumb enough.
I can't imagine how big I mean, I've seen your videos and you're painting those 30-pounders, and it just looks like he's holding
it's
up
unreal.
a 4 5 foot long shark, bro.
Yeah, it's like the tail is like this big on the most recent one.
bro,
To have it on scale, it's like that. It's like the width of my torso.
it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah,
It's like a tuna tail.
yeah, it's
like,
the
width-wise.
biggest uku ever.
How big is the girth on the tail? Like the meaty part,
Oh,
not
probably
the
like a
fin part.
solid, like
Bro.
this, like hands, 2 hands.
What about the head?
Oh, the head was like,
Are ukus still good to eat when they're that big?
I haven't tried one that big. I've heard sick stories.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've gotten sick from any of the ones that I've shot, even
Yeah.
the ones closer to 20, which has been
Yeah.
A
How's
few.
like the texture and like the flavor and stuff? Still cherry.